Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time of the week again. We're back with Youth Digital Talk from PICTA, and today we're speaking all things higher institutions and higher education. In the words of Nelson Mandela, as he once remarked, education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. But now, in your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, just to kickstart the webinar, in light of the current events, does this statement still hold true? Stay tuned to find out. And on our guest today, we've got my co-host, which is Umis Kwayete. Ongeziwe, how are you, sis?
I'm good, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Nice to have you. It's always good to have you next to me. You've always been somewhere on the floor with the other guests, but today you're co-hosting with me, which is very much lovely. What are you looking forward to?
Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Today we're going to talk about higher education, as Dalo said. We just want to know more about how do you think higher education has improved since 1994, as Mandela has stated that. So we're looking forward for your views, guys, and everything.
Yes, well said from Ms. Kwayete. And we've got Onwabano Pichwana. Sisi, how are you?
Evening. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Very well, thank you. It's nice to have you. And the last time we were together, we were talking about things robotics, and today we're on another page. We're speaking higher education. Does it still serve the purpose? Is it still relevant? Is varsity actually the only way out? But we'll have all of these answered and more. Stay tuned. Thank you, Ms. Nopichwana. And we've got Sisi Pomtaga. How are you, sis?
I'm doing great, Boti. Thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. I see you are affected quite more often these days by load shedding,
Yes, yes, yes.
but otherwise, it's lovely to have you. And it's great to know that despite the current circumstances, you still find time to avail yourself and take part in these digital talks. And we obviously value your input. And yeah, thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
Um, on the other hand, we've got Unomane Sitinini. Sis, how are you?
Hello, Talo. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Nice to have you. This is your second time on the webinar, right? Nice to have you. Still shy, but you'll get the hang of it. So, guys, today we're speaking all things higher education, and we are all graduates, thank God. I've got people, the right people, and the relevant people to speak about the topic and chew on the topic, right? So, let us look at it from a perspective of someone sitting at home, someone in high school, a high school student, sitting at home thinking that um, applying for varsity, is it the only way out? Am I on the right path? Am I taking the right step towards a better future? So for you, I'll start with you, Mr. Kwayete. For you, when you were in high school and looking into exploring different routes to make it to the future, was varsity your first option? Did you know that there's other things like learnerships and other things out there?
Okay, thank you for the question, Dalo. When I was in high school, the only thing I could think of was varsity and college. I didn't know that you can just go out from high school and then you can just do
Your learnerships.
your learnerships or start your business or
Mm,
whatsoever. The only thing was on my mind. I was like, let me go to varsity. Then I'll see
mm,
after
mm,
varsity what I can do.
mm,
But for now, I see that the option is not only varsity. You can just start your business from, even if you're doing grade 12, you can just start your business, grow your business, and then you will see after what's to do.
mm.
Yes, yes. For
All
me,
right.
varsity is not only the option.
All right. Well said. Well said. Onwaba, what's your own take? Do you think varsity is the best way to go right from high school? And do you perhaps, like in your position when you were in high school, looking at leaving grade 12, did you have any other thing in mind? Did you know that there's learnerships out there? Did you know that you can actually start your own business and all those kind of things?
Okay, thank you, Dalu. Um, I believe, and based on what I've seen and what I currently see, and it's just in my outlook in life, I believe varsity is the most prominent the route one would take from grade 12 in order to succeed. And or not only that, like, okay, the only value that I'm emphasizing is success. But as a person, varsity exposes you to many different things. Like you get to be exposed to different cultures, but because at least the varsity, it's where a lot of people from different journeys of life they come together, and then you are in the similar setting. Let's say people from rural areas, people from vendor, people from outside, then you get into a class and whereby you get to share like your different perspective based on your backgrounds, your life experiences generally. So it's not only about the content or the knowledge that you'll get from varsity. So you grow in also other aspects. Your outlook in life becomes different. I think I don't know the word, but it gets better because at least you get to hear the local's views. Then let's say I have certain problems with the local's views, of which I always do, and then there's maybe Nomanes from a different walk of life. You see, so Nomanes will have a different perspective in life. Then okay, maybe I can take one or two. Also with Dalu, I can disagree with Dalu, but it doesn't mean that. Whatever that what Dalo says, it's null and void. Obviously, I do learn, but okay, I can look at certain things differently. So I think varsity is also important in such aspects. Also, networking. You get to network a lot and in a different scale, and also differently. The friendships that you fostered, like back home, they take a different direction. The way you foster them now, also your friends. It's not just you're not friends because I grew up with Nomanese since I was, let's say, from grade R. Now I'm friends with other people based on maybe our likes, our values. Yeah, so I feel like varsity grows you in bounds in a lot of aspects. So I would suggest it personally.
So, in your own words, in short, it's not only for academic reasons, but other social reasons and networking reasons as well, right? Okay, that's well said. We'll come back to you. And I do know that, and I do believe that other people share different views from yours. Um, yeah, we'll get back to that. Let's get to hear what Sisipo has to say. Um, okay, this is not only for you, Sisipo, this goes to the whole floor. In terms of pursuing higher education, do you guys think and believe that it has significantly, or does it still significantly benefit the black child? You know, Sisipo?
Yes. It, um, from my opinion, yes, it is still significant because most skilled jobs still require a. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you,
Yes.
sis. Please go on.
Oh, I'm saying from my opinion, I think it is still a need to go to a varsity because most skilled jobs require a degree or a diploma. They require education for to qualify to do that specific job. But I think also varies as to our goals. if I have a goal of being a businesswoman, I think the route of opening your own business as soon as you leave high school, or just doing a short course for a business, I think I think it differs with our goals actually. Because if you don't dream of being an employee, or you don't dream of those high school jobs, I don't think it's actually that necessary to go to university. You can opt for the options of opening your businesses. And for me, the time I was at high school, I didn't know much about the options of learnerships and short
Mm,
courses.
mm.
I only learned those while I was already in varsity. And I think if I got to know more about those options, maybe I would have opted for those options. But I'm also happy with what I have now. And as Onaba already said, that we don't only learn the theory in varsity, there are a lot of things that we learn. We also learn different living, we also learn about different cultures and how other people live. And we learn a lot. It's not only about the qualification actually.
Okay.
And sorry, darling, to add, I feel like for us Black people to be recognized in the industries, we need education. I mean, now we, we are not recognized. For us to be recognized, we need to have qualification,
Mm, mm,
even if it's
mm.
diploma, but you need to have one qualification, even if you know that you'll start your own business and then you will just do your own thing. But I think you must have that qualification.
I have a lot to say. I personally have a lot to say with regards to higher education, and I don't want to say everything now. I just want to give Sis Nomanese to breathe on the matter, and then I can actually share my own views and perspective. And I know Honorable will differ.
Thank you, Dan. To add on what Ongeziwe just said, yes, we as Black kids, we need to like sell ourselves with the education, all right? Because wherever you go, even if you want to start a business, you need to have a qualification, you need to have skills, you need to do something, you need education. So for me, it's very beneficiary and important for us to go to school, right? To have a degree, to have a diploma. If ever you want to start a business, do like business management thing, to have skills, to have knowledge about the what you want to do in life. So yeah.
Okay,
To
now,
add,
okay, you can go on.
I like what Nomanese and Ongeziwe are pointing out, that us as Black people, there's this saying that says we need to work twice as hard as them, and ours is a different struggle. For instance, if let's say someone knows that I'm competent at ABC, but the fact that I do not have this qualification and that qualification, that will set me back. But however, if my other counterpart that is not non-white, it won't be a factor. So those are the realities that we shouldn't run away from. I'm happy that my colleagues are pointing that out, because it is a fact, as much as we have never talked about it, but I think they've raised valid points in that aspect. Thank you.
Okay, so for me, I hear what you guys have to say in terms of how important higher education is for us and higher institutions are for us. But now I think when we look at them at some point, we need to dive in deep, look at the curriculum that is being offered in our schools. We need to take that into consideration. Is it relevant for industries to easily absorb us? Do you leave higher institutions competent enough to assume a job position in what you actually have studied? Or do you still need to add more certifications on top of what you have? Or do you perhaps still to add further qualifications? At some point, I also do feel like, yes, higher education is important for literacy, just for us to be literate, you know. However, it doesn't guarantee a successful future. And at some point, higher education institutions and higher education itself has made us forget how to live and earn a living. You know, take for example, you go back to your village, your grandmother has a farm, it is abandoned. Why? Because you are out there seeking and waiting to be allocated a farm for you to carry out your farming activities. Yet you've got rich land back home in your village that is being neglected and abandoned. So at some point, I do feel yes, higher education is important, but the curriculum is not relevant. And the way I see it, our education system is generating employees. It's not teaching us to become problem solvers. It's not teaching us to become self-sustainable. It's just teaching us to become part of the system. Have you guys thought of it in that manner? You
Yes, I
know,
agree with you, Tim.
yeah. And also, I mean, you look at a child that is in high school right now, looking to go into varsity. Are they equipped with enough information and knowledge on the right courses to do and what are the requirements of these courses? You tend to find out that the problem is not at the higher institution level. The problem is actually in high school because these kids, you find a child who wants to be an accountant doing certain subjects that are not fitting in the spectrum of accounting,
Mm. Yes,
you
yes.
know,
I
which
think
then
they
you
not
can go.
equipped. Sorry, I think that's where we lose the direction when we enter in high school, because you'd find that the children that opt for wrong streams actually when they entering high school, and they realize later that the stream that they chose doesn't have anything to do what they want to pursue and in higher education. Even
That
when
is
they enter university, there is a confusion there. For me, example, I did accountancy for me to realize that I actually want IT. Then I had to do accounting, then change to IT.
and the time lost, the time invested in accountants is gone.
The whole
And
year.
my
The whole year is
what
gone.
exactly?
You see. So yeah, I share the same sentiments in certain things that you guys say, but now we need to look at it quite deep. Are the experiences, the social experiences of high institutions really necessary to make it and have a brighter future? If you don't get exposed to those experiences, is there a part of you that will feel out of place? Are we there for the experiences or are we there to secure a future?
At the look, I think it's a 50-50 type of situation because your social experiences can lend you into the best path of your career. And then your social experiences can then be detrimental to your career. So it's a 50-50%. It's more about a person now. Because let's say I don't excel like academically, however, I'm at varsity, but then I make connections whereby at the end of the day, I get into business based on my networking that I did at varsity. I think varsity, when you look at it in a social sense, it's more of interacting or networking with people that might have the similar mindset, background, or goal type of thing. Because it's not only centered around maybe the people doing the same course. You get to interact with other people from other courses. Then maybe let's say I'm talking to people from BEd, and then they say, "Oh, I'm doing IT. I'm a software developer." And then, okay, what if you can develop such a thing from their perspective? Maybe something for education. So it's just how you
Sorry to
use what you have.
interject. Sorry to interject. Um, I just want to ask something. Can you please mute for me? I just want to say something. Let's look at it in a practical sense now. You know, the practicalities of that. You've been through varsity yourself, and you are a software developer yourself, you know, and you were in the same campus with people doing B.Ed and other relevant courses. How's life after varsity? And what have you made of the contacts and connections that you've gained through your experience in a high institution? That one is for you, Omar.
Uh, to answer your question, life after varsity, it's not easy, right? Because at first, I think the curriculum that we are taught at varsity, it's not the same as what we are needed to deliver at the working environment, right? Because most of the things here, like we are soft developers here, but most of the things we learn from YouTube, we learn from ChatGPT, we search out things, but
And
the
you still have
content
to come to Python and get Python to take you through Python that you should have covered in your curriculum. And Python still need to teach you Java, C++, and all that, you know? And those are the things that you should have covered in your varsity curriculum, of which they are not even part of your curriculum, right?
So I think when it comes to the curriculum is not updated according to what we need to deliver at work. So just it's like yeah.
Okay, so now, if the curriculum is not updated, how does this curriculum then help you, or how does it ensure that you utilize the contexts and the networks that you've made in your high institution life in your present life, as in after varsity? How does it help you? How do you utilize a curriculum that is not updated and integrate it with your context to make a living out of it?
Okay, Taluxolo. I feel like you are insinuating that the curriculum that we did at varsity is null and void, like it did nothing for us. But I feel like it is the basis of what we're doing here. As much as it's not like it's not um, in line with what's happening in the sense of IT and being a software developer, like the programs that we're using, the frameworks and whatnot, it's not in par based on the progression. However, the fact that you have that basic knowledge, it's easier for you to catch up and do certain things. I feel like it's not just making you have this qualification, but it's not important. Throw it out, and then now that you are in a working space, uh, you have to neglect all that you studied there.
Can I interject?
Yes.
Here's the thing. It's not that I'm saying it's null and void, right? Or I'm invalidating it. It's a stepping stone, right? So it's something. But is higher education supposed to be a stepping stone, or is it supposed to be not only the foundation, but the walls and the roof?
I hear your point, Dalukolo. What you are raising is valid. In fact, it calls upon higher education systems and policies that should be governing that, making sure that whatever is being delivered by higher education is in par with what's needed in the working environment. I agree with what you're saying that actually the content and the knowledge that were taught at varsity might be a bit backdated. However, okay, I hear you. No, I hear you, but I hear you, but
Okay, here's a quick one, right? We're all aware of the current unemployment rate in South Africa reaching close to 60% and all that. So how do you guys think the higher education influences the youth unemployment rate of up to 60%? Do you perhaps think that it has something to do with, obviously, it has something to do with the higher education, but what is your take around that? Do you want to?
Hi, Dalu, please come again.
Okay, so we're all aware of the statistics in terms of unemployment of the youth, right? The question is, how does higher education influence the youth unemployment rate of around 60%?
okay, Dal. Uh, this is what I'm thinking. I think that the higher unemployment rate within the youth being due to higher education might be one. Most people, let's say I'm at in grade 12, I'm doing grade 12, then I don't get accepted at a higher institution. Therefore, I don't, maybe in my mind, I don't have other avenues that I can pursue. So my only way out was varsity or a college. So now that I couldn't be part of the people who went to varsity, now that becomes a stumbling block for me. I can't move over that. Now, the fact that I'm not at varsity, for me, it's more like, okay, now I'm taking a gap year. Then it's a gap year after a gap year because those things happen. You don't get varsity this year and the next year and the next year. So that may constitute to the reasons why people do not, are unemployed. Let's say now, okay, this person goes to varsity. Ne? As you stated before that our varsities, they give us skill and knowledge, however, to pass and then be employees, sorry. So now that I've exited varsity and I have my qualification, my only thought is that I need to be employed by someone. So maybe our varsities need to have emphasis on the innovation side, whereby you on the entrepreneurial side, whereby maybe all courses should have maybe not introductory, but maybe intermediary courses whereby you are taught innovation and research and entrepreneurship in order to try to mitigate the fact that maybe people who exit varsity do not have those skills whereby they can be innovative enough and start their businesses and employ other people. Maybe there is a gap there.
But now, for someone who's not admitted in varsity, like you have said, how is that relevant? Because you said that some of the causes are the fact that someone will not be admitted into varsity, then the person goes from one gap year to the next, right? Then it becomes consecutive years. In that case, how is an entrepreneurship course in varsity relevant for someone who's not part of the varsity system, who's not part of any higher education system for that matter?
Okay, now I think we should tackle that maybe at our schools. Ne? We tackle such problems at our metric level, at our high school level, because now what you are bringing forth is that, okay, now this person was only focused on going to varsity. So now this person needs to be to be told or given information that varsity is not the only way out. You can enroll in learnerships. You can go to maybe the varsity as in university, then you can go to colleges, or you can set a business. Okay, if we are setting a business, then there should be maybe a module, a subject whereby entrepreneurship is dealt with extensively, other than just being part of life sciences. That's my thought. I don't know if Sisipo can help or Namanis.
Sisipo, what's your take, sis? Okay, I think she's struggling with the network. For me, right, I feel like in terms of equality, we'll never achieve it between a black child and the other race, you see, because it almost feels as though each and every time a black child is getting close to the finish line is moved. You know, gone are the days when grade 12 was sufficient. Now we've gone for diplomas, degrees, and they still don't cut it. So now we go for honors and masters, and they still seem not to cut it. Are we perhaps looking into the wrong courses? I think we also need to do a bit of introspection to say that are we really doing the courses that matter? Are we actually taking the right route when it comes to doing life? What happened to farming? Why aren't we looking back at our old ways and integrating them with the higher education that we actually getting, and not focus on not only to rely on the curriculum that is being offered, but also to look at the practicalities of what we're actually receiving. For example, you take, for example, agriculture, right? Why are we not saying to kids in high school that no, if you apply for higher education institutions and you're not admitted, it's okay. Sit at home, work the land. Why are we not having such conversations? Why are we not saying that no, you don't need to, like for example, you find someone who wants to, let's say, become a mechanic, for example, right? Why aren't we having conversations around the fact that you don't need to really go to varsity for that? Yes, a qualification is important, but if you are not admitted into varsity, it's not the end of the world. You can apply for learnerships. There's learnerships everywhere, and you can still look into other things of getting the education.
Like YouTube.
You know,
There are a lot of stuff
Okay.
to look at.
exactly. You can go.
Talu, you said something about the type of courses that people are doing at varsity, if they're in line with what's needed in the working places. I feel like that that onus should be put on higher institutions themselves. They should be the one who deliver the best content to to university students, because I
But
remember
now,
no wait, because I remember reading something, I think a few years back, that there were students at University of Johannesburg. These students were complaining that they did this course, and this course, they were admitted into this stream. I don't remember what it was. And now they were done studying. However, now that they are done studying it, they found out that there aren't any jobs available. Like there aren't any jobs available for this specific course. However, University of Johannesburg is still taking in students at first year level to do the same course, whereby there are people who are products of that course who now know that they can't get any job, so they have to restart. No, now, no, wait, let's talk about realities. You get to varsity, you apply. You are not, okay, let's say I want IT. This is what's happening. When I get to apply for IT, they tell me it's full. And then maybe someone from the SRC say, no, you need to be at varsity in order to secure a place in varsity. So if you want to do, let's say, medicine, and you can, but you, okay, now it's full, and okay, I want IT, but it's full. So fine. If I can do maybe financial accounting, FIS, then maybe in the second year, I can go and do IT mainstream. Ne? So now let's say I took that route, but it's not related. And then now I don't get to IT level. And then I'm stuck with financial accounting. And maybe let's say it doesn't have jobs. Officially doesn't have as much, it doesn't have much opportunities as IT. And then you see now I have a problem. And then we have to counter the years for NSFAS to be able to pay for me. It comes into effect. There's a possibility that I might fail a few modules. And then at the end of the day, by the time I'm supposed to reach finally, I don't have funds. Now I have to drop out. I feel like varsities on their own need to find a way to work around like the way that they are operating and the courses that they offer.
Okay, with regards to the issue of courses, right? Yes, we can blame high institutions, but remember, research starts with you. You're responsible for your own future. That's why they say your future is in your own hands. You're responsible for your own future. If you go to remember, as much as the high institutions are supposed to be these education providers and they need to take a lot into consideration, but you also need to bear in mind they're in business, right? If a customer comes to you and says, I want this pencil, even though I know that this pencil is defective, you know, and yes, or it's not the best quality. Let me say it's not the best quality. But because there's a market for it, you have to offer it, you have to sell it. You've got the product, you've got a market for the product. Why not sell the product? You see, it is left for you to do your own research to say that this is good for me and this is not good for me. This is the right route for me. This is not the right route for me. This is why I constantly advise kids in high school, attend career expos, do as much research. If possible, do job shadowing. Before you even pick your subjects, do job shadowing so that by the time you pick your subjects in grade 10, you already know what you're signing up for and you know what you're getting yourself into. And I think the problem arises with people flooding into easy courses. People love these courses that are simple and easy without considering the future implications of doing a course that you are not passionate about, you have no interest in, and you didn't do any research on. We always hear instances where parents know that a child is doing a particular course, maybe medicine. Then the child decides that medicine is difficult. I'm not having enough time for social events and social gatherings. Let me drop this because my friends are doing a course that is less hectic. You see, we always hear such instances. So who to hold responsible then? That person making that decision is not thinking or projecting or looking at what the future will hold with this degree or diploma or certificate that they will be leaving varsity with or college with. Let's just take one or two questions on the comment section quickly, then we still move on. We've got a question that says, as individuals that are on an internship, what is your advice to youth that cannot make it to varsity? On my side, varsity is not making it into varsity or college is not the end of the world. There's learnerships out there where you actually get an actual skill, And at the same time, you're getting experience while you're getting the skill, and you're also getting remuneration in the process. You know, there's that, and it's quite beneficial. And a lot of people go for those, you know. And there's also entrepreneurship. You know, we constantly have to sell ourselves. So I don't understand when someone says, me, I'm not good at selling, because everywhere where you go, you have to sell yourself. I meet, oh, Miss Kwaite for the first time, I have to sell myself to her. You know, I have to present myself. And by virtue of doing that, we can all sell something. You know, we need to shy away from the narrative of, if you put a stand by the corner, you don't have a future. Those days are gone. The economy has taken another shape and form. And if we don't come to realize that entrepreneurship could be a great path to take, then trust me, there won't be a future for us. Because with the economy looking this bad, the unemployment rate being so bad, and also um, the future that is so uncertain, and our currency being all shaky, trust me, there's no jobs right now. Companies are retrenching. So chances that there will be more jobs in the next year or in 2 years' time are quite slim. So we really need to look into entrepreneurship. You know, we all have something passionate about. Whether you're passionate about drawing, take a pencil, make your art, and sell it. Whether you know, we need to come to I've once attended a course on infopreneurship that was offered by Picta in partnership with ITZ, and it was very informative. And you guys constantly complain about me in the office, constantly looking for ways to make money. But trust me, I took quite a lot from that course, and it taught me quite a lot. Infopreneurship speaks to you making money out of or monetizing the information that you have. You know, there's such things that we need to explore, such avenues that we need to look into and explore.
To add to add on you, Dalu, they must not take those short courses for granted. Those 3 months courses, they must not take that for granted. They must do the courses, get certificates, even if it's for farming. Just do them, get certificates, and go apply. Go out there with your 3 months course. Yeah.
And that's very true, because look at the courses that Picta is offering, for example. You know, Picta is offering courses on Splunk, Checkpoint, and you name them, quite a lot of courses, cybersecurity, and all those courses, you know, and they teach you quite a lot. And yes, you might have your degree, right, in business administration, in business management, in whatsoever. But now, when you take those courses, like Ms. Kwete is saying, you actually upskilling yourself, and you're actually adding more credentials to your name. You know, just the fact that you've done a course on Get Connected, you've done a course on cybersecurity, introduction to cybersecurity, that makes you stand out from the rest of the people from the rest of your peers that did the same qualification with you in university. Yes, you didn't do IT, but now when you apply for a job, cybersecurity is a concern for each and every existing organization. As long as you're connected, even individuals, as long as you're connected and you use the internet, you are prone to be a victim of cyber crimes. So cybersecurity is a concern, and it's important for everybody, you know. Yeah, so that's my own take. I don't know, Onoba, what's your own take on the question of the day? As individuals that are on an internship, what is your advice to youth that cannot make it into varsity?
Thank you, Dalu. To add on what Dalu Xolo and Ongeziwe just said, my advice to the youth, I would say education education is not the only way for you to be educated, right? There are ways for you to get skills and knowledge about what you want. The only thing it's about you. How hungry are you for what you want? Then you need to go outside, search for short courses. Like every day we share the links for cybersecurity courses. You can do that courses and get what you want. So yeah.
To add on what Nomalisi just stated and Ongeziwe, really, I think we should tell the kids at matric level high school that more than anything, the internet, the phones that they have, is really a gateway to their future. Not necessarily to play, like to just invest their time in social media, because with their phones they can get into the courses that you guys stated, the 3 months courses and whatnot. And we have to emphasize that each and every opportunity that arises with such, like your 3 year courses, your learnerships, the courses that Miss Kumo spoke about, the initiatives that they do, like fixing phones and whatnot, you have to take those opportunities with both your hands and apply yourself, because really that might be a breakthrough. And at the end of the day, if you follow those courses and apply, get taken and do them, you're networking. We have to emphasize the importance of networking. So I think we should focus on those things. The courses, that their phones, their laptops, because most of them do have these things. And they also have access to data. It's the gateway to their success in this modern world. So they just need to use it effectively for them to succeed. Thank you, Dara.
For me, what you guys have said actually is very much true, and I wouldn't only advise kids that are in matric or whatever the case may be, but this goes out to everyone, whether you doing your diploma or you've just graduated and you're looking for a job and you're not finding any job. It is very dangerous for you as a new graduate to just sit and idle. You know, what you do while you wait to get employed actually matters more than what you've been doing during your varsity time. Because when you go into the industry, you'll be asked, okay, fine, you graduated in May, or let's say graduated in March. What have you been doing with that time? So it's very important that you find things to do and occupy your time with. You can't just sit and say that you're not getting a job and you're applying. Get these courses, do these courses. We're going to share the links on the comment section. When it comes to what happens when you go for interview, it's always nice to say that, yes, I did business administration, or yes, I did CNET, or yes, I did support services in IT. But while after graduating, I couldn't get a job, and while waiting, I did courses on cybersecurity. Here's my certification. You know, I did courses in Checkpoint on cybersecurity. Here's my certification. And it also puts you at an advantage. The difference between us Africans and the other race is the fact that we don't like taking initiative. We want to be pushed, and that's the sad part. We want to be pushed, we want to be saved, we're waiting for miracles. We believe in praying for things more than acting on things and getting things done. You know, we sit and we contemplate and plan things. As much as our higher education is not the best, but what are we doing to actually bridge that gap? Now you've got your diploma, your degree, and it's your diploma or degree in, let's say, software development. What are you doing to bridge the gap in the curriculum that is offered in the higher institution where you come from? people still sit with those degrees and wait for jobs. There's nothing wrong with applying and waiting for a job, but how are you upskilling yourself? Remember, when it comes to IT, it's a skill. IT is not just your take home qualification, then that's that. It's a skill. You constantly have to practice all the concepts that you were taught. You need to further from that. You don't just sit with what you have and say that, okay, fine. Right now, I've got the degree that I was yearning and looking for, and it ends there. No, it does not end there. You need to further your studies. You need to keep practicing and practicing and practicing. You need to get practical with things. And most of these courses, they actually expose you to quite a lot. When it comes to certifications, they expose you to practicalities of what you covered in school, what you covered in your higher institutions, your college, your varsity. Certifications will expose you to the practicalities of those. The tools are there. If you are doing cybersecurity or a course on ethical hacking, the tools are there. If you're doing DNS hacking, the tools are there. If you're working on Python, the IDE is there on these courses. They provide you with these things. So it is left to us to take the initiative, of which in most cases we never do. So it's just one of those things.
I wanted to disagree, but I don't.
So
At
you
the beginning, I
agree.
wanted to disagree, but I understand your point. It's okay.
For the very first time ever since I've known you, we
Yes,
agree on
I was
something.
ready to counter your point, but I agree.
Yeah, you're always ready to annihilate me. Always. You don't even play around. You know. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, if you are in school, um, it's funny. When I was in high school, Miss Payete, I used to think that, hey, yeah, I'm tired of waking up every day in the morning to go to school just to study for my parents. I am tired. I'd always say this to myself that no, it's true. That time, I studied in Joburg, so you wake up in the morning, it's freezing. Just walking maybe 100 meters, your feet are frozen, your hands are frozen, and you're going to school in the morning.
And you're thinking you're doing it for
You're
parents.
thinking you're doing it for your parents. You know, by the time I got to varsity first year, that's when I knew that, yeah, you see now I've met my match. There's no parents anymore. It's you, your future, and your life. Freedom. What I like about high institutions, if you get the opportunity to make it into a high institution, it is good. One of the things that you will come to terms with and you come to learn is your future is practically and literally in your hands. You decide what future you want for yourself. Freedom, if it is freedom that you're looking for, varsity will give you all the freedom. Nobody will hold you accountable. Nobody's going to call you and ask you, why were you not in class? There, you are all by yourself and nobody cares, you know? And you get to varsity now, you start seeing that, okay, me being in this room now. So really, if I decide not to go and attend, it's up to me.
It's up to you.
If I decide not to set my alarm and wake up, it is all done. I will sleep the whole day just like that. And if you are not wise enough, by the time you wake up, your first wake up call will be your first semester test. Bah! You'll see the marks, then you know that, yeah, reality is starting to kick in. And at that point, that's where you see people starting to run around because they know. We were doing semester courses at the time. So you know that you've got you know, two tests, and you must qualify for the exam. If you don't qualify for the exam and the teacher, the lecturer is not nice enough, you're not getting a third opportunity to qualify. You out. See it next year. Come back, same place, same time. You know. So higher institutions, yes, like Onova said, they do provide experiences, but those experiences will not guarantee you a better future, because I know a lot of people that got carried away with those experiences and they never made it out of varsity. So the point of higher education is for us to be able to secure a better future and get the best quality education, even though I beg to differ, it's not the best. Yeah, that is the point, not experiences, not other things, And you look at the other race, most of them right after grade 12, some of them right after grade 12, they, if they're sent to varsity, they'll go study business management because there's a business at home, you see. They go study law because already there's an existing law firm at home. They go study accounting and already there is an accounting firm at home. So for them, it is there's provisions. They don't just pick a course and study based on the basis of or the sentiments of liking the course. No, it is based on what is there. Some of them, they go right from high school, they go into their parents' businesses. And before you know it, the business is a legacy that is left to them to run and manage. With us, it's not the case. We have zero inheritance. We have nothing to fall back to. We have no one coming to save us. This is why we bring these conversations to you sitting at home, so that even if you already have your qualification, now you know something you didn't know. You know that there's courses that are free that Picta is offering. That's intellectual property. If you're a student or you are in high school and you're looking into going to varsity, think clearly and properly before you start applying, before you pick subjects. Sit down with your parents, look into these things, get a prospectus from one or two of the varsities, go through the prospectus, see if the subjects that you want to pick align with what you want to study. I always preach this one.
Before you take a course, you must ask yourself, what can this course do for me?
Exactly, what do you want to achieve?
Yeah.
What is the end goal? Are you doing the course only to qualify for your obituary, when they draft your obituary, for them to say that, no, this one is a graduate? Graduate is gone. Is that why we're doing these courses? If that is the case, then we might as well look for the easiest, the most easiest courses in varsity, go for them, fill them up, and get all these degrees. You know what pains me so much is for someone to go to varsity, pick a course, and do a course that you're not passionate about. Then you get the qualification right. 3 years, you don't fail, you don't do anything, you just get your qualification straight. Even if you get it with flying colors, good for you. But now you look into the job market and you look at the job and you see that you don't fit in there because you're not passionate about the course and you're not passionate about the job. Now you've wasted time, you've wasted money, you are in debt, because most former students of high institutions in the Eastern Cape, especially from middle class backgrounds to lower class backgrounds, they are in debt with these high institutions. Yes, Sisipo did say that she did accountancy and she quickly realized that she's not passionate about it, and then she switched, right? She forgot to speak about the debt that she incurred in that process. I'd speak about my case, but hey, it's something else. It's a story for another day. But I also left varsity with a huge debt that was hanging over my head. Imagine you fresh from varsity, you're already in debt, and you've got lawyers calling you every day of the week, they're calling you asking for that money. You're already in the credit bureau and you haven't even had a job. Why? Because you made uninformed decisions in terms of picking your subjects, in terms of going into high institutions, and in terms of picking your courses as well. So, guys, higher institutions are not the only option. Obviously, they are the only option if you want a quick debt. They are not the only option in terms of acquiring education. Right now, we've got YouTube, we've got Coursera, we've got companies like Picta that are willing to give free courses that are flipping expensive. Pardon the language. But yeah, you know,
There are
there's,
websites for all the
you
information.
know, funny enough, everyone is connected.
Mm,
You go on TikTok right now, you find someone from the deepest rural area
yes,
on TikTok with videos.
the
You know,
information is everywhere now.
information is everywhere. You go to these schools, right? You go to these schools and you find out that these kids, they don't know how to apply when they're applying for varsity and college. They don't know how to apply. They don't know how to apply for NSFAS. They don't know how to fill those forms. But when it comes to registering in these sites, your TikTok, they are all there. Everyone is there. And funny enough, when it comes to social media, there's no age restriction.
No.
The same elderly people that don't know how to um, enter an airtime voucher on their phone, you'll find them on TikTok, you'll find them on Facebook. The same school pupils that will tell you that I don't know how to apply, you find them in these platforms. So it goes back to us misusing the resources that we have. We're actually abusing the resources that we have because we've got access to resources, but we're not using them the right way. We need to come out of the relaxed phase where we are, where we're waiting for things to be handed over to us and all that. We're here telling everybody that higher educations, high institutions is not the only option and it's not the best way to go. You look at your plans, you have to look at your plans and align them with the higher education options that you're exploring, you know, and we're sitting here doing that in the evening, on a Wednesday evening, right? There's people at home that are supposed to be listening to such conversations, but they are on TikTok. You know, some of them they are watching music videos as we speak. So yeah, let's look at the comment, guys. We've got Togos are saying, how can we overcome the issue of choosing the wrong courses? I think I did cover your question at some point where I said it starts with subjects when you're doing grade 9. You want to do software dev, for example, and you're going to pick tourism, maths lit, economics. Okay, let's leave economics, hospitality, and what other subject can I add? Agriculture, right? With those 4 subjects. They don't align with what you want to do. Not that there's anything wrong with the subjects, but they don't align with your career path that you want to take in the future. You see, so it starts there with picking of subjects. When you're choosing your subjects, you need to actually get someone to assist you, especially if there's somebody that is in varsity, it would be much better for you. The person can download a prospectus for you. You guys sit down, you look at the requirements of what you want to study. Then you align your courses with that, and it's always safe to have courses like maths and science because usually they slot into everything. So the best stream that I would advise in this day and age is accounting, science, pure maths, and what's the 4th one? Let's say economics, business studies, CAT, geography, any one of those. You see,
Just to be on the safe side.
just to be on the safe side. You're safe if you're going for accounting, IT. You're safe if you want to do science related subjects and all those things. So that's where it starts, Togoza. Then Anati says, I would advise youth to take the skills program that could also assist in getting jobs. That is true, skills programs. Skills programs also are the same as your learnerships, and yeah, excuse me, they similar. So if you take skills programs, you know that you nice, you sorted. And also, guys, as South Africans, we need to come back and sit and talk also about and have conversations around this thing of us not wanting to look into opportunities out there in other countries. You know, perhaps we should also look into opportunities in other countries. I mean, if you've got skills and you were part of a skills program here in South Africa, and you get your experience in your whatever skill that you have, and you maneuver and get a qualification there, you're good to go. Sorry, you're good to go. You can apply for other skills programs out of the country. Let us not limit ourselves to here where we are, but also look out of the country. There's many, yes, we don't have jobs in our country, so we need to spread out. This is why everywhere you go, you'll find a Chinese person because the population is big. And at the time when they started spreading out, the economy was shaky. So we also need to look into that. Then Onke Mahlagat, the one and only Mr. Mahlagat, says, some may say that coming from disadvantaged background is even hard for them to get access to do those courses in terms of data or resources. What can be done to help those people? There's things like youth centers. You know, some of the youth centers do have access to Wi-Fi. There's public libraries. I know the struggle of data is a serious issue, but if you can be on TikTok, you know, doing these courses like the courses with character, I've done them. They don't take much data that I do know. So yeah, there's such things. So honestly, excuse me, they don't really take much data. So if you look at things like your youth centers, your public libraries, there's usually Wi-Fi around such areas. So you can take advantage of that. And these courses really don't consume much data, guys. Do you know that when you view an image or a video, when you watch a video online or view an image online, it takes a lot of data more than just reading text.
Yes, relative.
So yeah, Mr. Matlagata, as for that one, yeah, that is my take on that. Mr. Matlagata still says, let's say you get a chance to get in varsity. You do your degree and your diploma and you graduate. So my question is, do you think obtaining a higher education qualification has impact on your career in a positive or negative way? Um, One thing about qualifications, they will forever, depending also what qualification is it in what course. There's courses that are just unnecessary. And I say they are necessary because there's no jobs. You go and you do that course, you go and you sit home, you know. So you really need to look at your qualification, you know. Yes, certain qualifications are good to have, but then again, the thing about qualifications these days, if you have a qualification and you don't know the content of your course, my brother, you're out. Because most companies now, they know that students in varsity are doing the learn and forget model. It's called, it's what? It's LPF, learn, pass, forget. And you repeat the process for 3 years. Learn, pass, forget, learn, pass, forget, learn, pass, forget, and you get your qualification, you're gone.
Go
So,
home.
yeah, what companies are doing now is they will test you on the context of what your qualification covers. And if you don't know your story, you're out. You're not going to make it to even the interview, because before they shortlist you for interview, you go through those tests, you go through aptitude tests, and you go through assessments. you know. So yes, you can have the qualification, especially Mr. Mahlangata, you're in IT. You know that very well. And you are also in an internship with Picta. Uh, you did your Get Connected. You see, so course content is very much important, as much as having a qualification is important, but also knowing what goes into your qualification is very much important. So much important. It doesn't help you holding a certificate for ethical hacking here, but you don't know what's there, your IBM. And you've got your IBM certificates, but when it comes to the content, you know, you don't know anything. You've got your, yeah. So qualifications are important, but course content is more important. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have any other thing to say. We've covered all the comments. Anything, guys? Or no? You usually have something to say. Are you hungry?
Uh, Based on today's chat, I'll just wrap up a bit. Ne? Is that fine, Dalu?
Why are you wrapping up? Mr. Mahlangata hasn't had enough of the comment session. Why are you wrapping up?
Oh, I thought you touched this. Okay.
Let me just touch on what the comment session, what it said on the comment session. So he says, so this means it's very important to do research in each and every qualification that you would like to do. Yes, that's very true, Mr. Mahlangata. It starts with your subjects in high school. That's where it starts. We need to stop jumping at things on the go. Let us address them from the root. The root problem is the subjects in high school. Pick the right subjects that align with your career path, or that align with the course that you want to take in varsity. Pick the right subjects, then you will not have any issues. Up here, David says, Pan African Information Communication Technology Association. Um, if one can attend university, one should consider exploring vocational training, online courses, and going or online courses and gaining practical experience through internships or apprenticeships. There are many paths to success, and self-motivated learning can open doors to fulfill your career. That's very true, and that's very profound and true. There's many ways to kill a cat, guys. Poison and chopping the neck are not the only ways. There's many ways to kill a cat, and as much as the destination is success, one for all of us, but there's many different routes to take. Now, why are you guys laughing? Aren't you guys on the same page with me? Aren't you guys chasing success? I thought we're all on the same page.
No, I'm laughing at Onka's comment.
Okay.
I would like to hear Onaba's take on that. Take on what?
Onwaba, okay, wants to hear your take. Let me leave you to
Take on what? Because he posed two questions most, so I'm not sure which take on which question.
it. Okay, let's look at the next comment. Nonkulego says, well, I understand that not attending varsity might feel discouraging, but remember that success doesn't solely rely on a degree. You can focus on your strength, passion, and skills. Like not many people are successful through university. That's very true. I've seen a Ferrari in Joburg. Ferrari, right? In Joburg. It's red. The registration number is no degree. That's the registration number, no degree. And for someone to afford a Ferrari, that tells you something. There's a lot of sacrifice that has gone into it. That could be a business tycoon for all we know. Otherwise, Onwaba, you wanted to say something?
No, I wanted to ask if maybe he can repost the second question or you have access to the second question because Onke is saying the second question.
I do believe that he is listening, and if so, he may actually comment here with the second question that he's referring to.
Okay.
No one else is take. You've been quiet. I'm worried. Did you make the wrong career choices as well? Are you one of those people that now are reflecting and regretting? What did I get myself into? Now I have to spend the whole night coding and doing all those things. Are you still with us?
Uh, Thank you, Dal. Oh, to respond on Mahlakata's question, the second one, I think the question was about is it the degree or the diploma you have impacted the career in a positive or negative way. So I would say when it comes to uh, impact depend on the degree that you have or diploma that you have, right? Because you might have a degree that yeah, is not on demand because there are degrees that are not on demand. There are degrees that are on demand, right? In terms of jobs. So the degree that we have, if you are having a degree in software development, obviously the skills that you have and the skills that you will be learning out there, you'll be, yeah, the career will be positive. I think so. That's what I think.
Oh no, you look like you want to say
Okay.
something.
No, the question was the second question from Mr. Shakata was that has the diploma or the degree that you obtained in university impacted positively or negatively towards to your career? Ne? Okay, personally, I think that the degree. Okay, well, let me not be specific. Any degree that you get, any knowledge that you get, I don't see how it can impact negatively. Whether it's a degree that Darukolo usually just said maybe it's not useful in today's world, but the fact that you have that knowledge, it matters. Whatever path you take on, even if it's not based on the degree that you took, obviously it will have some impact because remember, whatever you learn, you are a different person was before you learn something. Then you learn this. So you're a different person past the learning experience because you gain something. And also, I believe education in general and having a qualification, if you compare yourself from the beginning of your qualification, the path, the things that you learned in within the scope of the degree and afterwards you can tell that you move differently, you think differently, you view things differently. Also the skills, the tools that you used in that degree, obviously you're going to apply them here. Take for instance IT, you move differently. You are tech savvy now. You're not, maybe let's say you were scared of buying things online, but now you know it's safe. You can, okay, now you know that, okay, this is phishing, therefore you can't do so and so. So you are more confident. I feel like any degree that you get, any education, in fact, even if it's a short course, there's no way that it can impact negatively because it is information. So with information, I'm expecting you to move differently because you have information. You have something that has improved you in essence. So It does
Um,
matter.
just to say something, just to say
Okay.
something. From my perspective, right?
Mm.
This goes to someone that is in high school looking into going to varsity. Please don't just take any degree. Take it from me. Speaking from experience, me. Don't just take any degree. Take what you're passionate about, right? The point of going to school, guys, at the end of the day, kuvusa ikhaya. Uzolivusa kanjani ikhaya if you've taken a degree that you're not passionate about, then you come and you sit elokishini with your expensive English. How are you going to change your family history? How are you going to change your life with information that you obtain and not go and make use of? Yes, you will move differently, but will you be moving differently in the right position? Let us think about it, guys. I've posted links to some of the courses that PITA offers. If you are in high school and you're looking at certain things that you can do, in fact, high school, I don't think these are for you. A varsity, if you're in varsity, you're doing IT and you want to upskill yourself, these are the courses. If you're unemployed and you're a youth and you've got data for TikTok, leave TikTok alone. Focus on these ones. Look at these courses and take on these courses, guys. Um, Fortunately, for today, we need to call it a day and we need to wrap it up. We've already gone beyond the scheduled time, and yeah, we need to call it a day, guys. It's been great. It's been lovely. Mr. Maslagata, I will read your last comment.
I want to comment on that comment.
You want to comment on that comment?
Yes, but you can read it. But I want to say something to that comment.
Okay, he says, but if you think about it, even the Minister of Higher Education said that there are universities that are still offering applications that will not get them anyway. I'm disagreeing with you though. I just want to look at it in another perspective. Excuse me. Yeah. Oh, he says, I'm not disagreeing with you though. I just wanted to get another perspective.
Oh, he's not disagreeing with. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought he was.
No, he's
I was
not.
read.
I
Oh,
think let us call it a session. Guys,
okay.
I've posted the links. Don't say I don't plug you. I've posted the links. You guys have been with us since 7 p.m. Right now, it's 26 minutes past 8. So, the courses are there. I've shared the links. Please upskill yourself, do these courses. Whenever you compile your CV, add them to your CV. Don't just don't just end with your diploma or your degree that you got in 2018 before the pandemic. Life starts after pandemic. So upskill yourself. The courses are there. The rest is left to you. Yeah, we'll call it a day. Ms. Quiet, thank you.
Let's call it a day. It's
Yeah.
been a long day anyway.
Very long one. Thank you so much. Onwaba, thank you so much, Sisi, for pulling through. Nomane Sisi, thank you so much for coming through. Sisi Ipo, I know you're listening and your network wasn't good to us today, but thank you so much. Let's call it a day, guys. Mr. President, you can shut it. Same difference.